Two super clubs did battle tonight, PSG and Manchester City. Welcome back. It's good to have you with us here in our studio in London. Kate, Thierry, Jamie and Micah, thank you for joining us on the post-game show. Let's talk about that game between PSG and Manchester City. It was a good start, Micah.
It was a good start.
Okay?
It started ever so well. I mean, Grealish gets the goal and I was so happy for him. I mean, he's not had the best of times at Manchester City, and I know this moment will definitely mean a lot to him. I think Akanji does ever so well to go down the line, and then just being in the right place at the right time. You see his position here, we pick him up on the left-hand side, and not on wingers get into the box often enough, and he gets into the right position, and it's about the technique, the strike, hits it nice and clean, gets a little bit lucky, but it's exactly what they needed. Probably fortunate at the time to go 1-0 up, but they'll take it. And then number 2 came, Jamie.
Yeah, and that man Erling Haaland, Thierry.
Yes, exactly. A goal like he likes to score, hanging out the back post and tapping the ball in. That's him. He likes to go there. We've seen it before. We've seen it tonight, and we will see it again. 2-0.
Yeah. But then, Kate, the comeback began, and one of the greatest comebacks we've seen in the Champions League, certainly in one half of football. And that man, when he came from the bench, Dembele at half-time, Thierry said you felt that'd be a huge change in the game.
Yes,
This man on the far side, initially Barcola, we said before the game I thought he caused problems to Nunes, but the great thing that he does here, Thierry, you'll know better than me, to stay really cool and stand still as the cross comes in and lets the defenders run away.
Exactly. He first and foremost, what Barcola does is very good, although he was playing against Nunes. I thought that was a mistake. But Dembele does, like he's going to the 60-yard box, stops, waits for the cross, and then finishes it. And then, again, ball's going to go this time to Doué. That's going to come back in, curve it. Good reaction. I don't know if he means it like that, but he just wants to, kind of stuff it or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, he's there, back post, off the crossbar, to put the ball in.
The stuff helps him, doesn't it, actually? If he hits it clean, the keeper probably saves it.
At that moment, at that moment, City were about to lose that game. You can see it.
Yeah, and the third one comes from a set piece. I mean, poor marking, John Stones just on the pitch, probably could have done a little bit better there, but it's a great header. Talking about from PSG point of view, just coasting in, and it just uses the surface. The pitch was very wet, so he didn't have to put too much power on it. He just guided it into the near post. Really good header by Neves.
And it didn't finish there. I mean, there was a big VAR check for this goal from Ramos. But you see, he challenges for the ball like Vardiol. It's a brilliant finish.
Yeah.
4-2. The game was already won then, but we don't know how important goals scored, goals against will be. City are in that predicament right now in terms of trying to qualify. You see it comes off Guardiola's shoulder, but great finish. And you know what? They deserve to win by 2 clear goals.
Well, there was a VIP in the audience tonight, everybody. Should we do some celeb spotting, Micah and
yes,
Jamie?
let's do
see
this.
if we recognise
That's
who this
often the
is.
case in Paris.
Yes, that's
Oh,
right.
is that the place to be seen?
It's a famous
It seems
city.
so, yeah.
Who is it? Let's have a look. Let's see if Jamie or Micah, can you name the celebrity?
He's a basketball player.
Name.
He's the fella who I got on his shoulders.
No, it's not him.
No, oh my
It doesn't
gosh.
look anything like him.
At all.
Well, how could I see him? I was on his shoulders.
One's black, one's mixed race.
We'll start now.
Oh, dear. Let's reverse out of this segment very quickly. You know, don't you? NBA fan that you are.
Please, Jill,
San Antonio Spurs,
don't
name him.
disrespect me. I do my research.
And
I
his
knew he
name
was a basketball player,
is...
the young kid.
Oh, well done. He was
Terry.
oh,
The
The
great
young
guess.
kid. That's his name?
No,
I know his name.
you know
The young
who-
kid. Call him Wemby. Wemby will be good for you.
Wemby.
Yeah, Wemby.
Big Wemby.
There you go.
Big
Call him
Victor.
Wemby.
in Paris to play an NBA game with the San Antonio Spurs. Will you be flying over? Will you be jetting over for any NBA action?
Unfortunately,
he's got
they
meetings
wanted
down
me
there.
to be there, but
Did your friends play for the Spurs?
no.
Tony Parker?
Outside.
yeah, no, I can't attend.
Yeah, he wants to show when he knows basketball
Sorry?
players.
No, just saying, didn't Tony Parker play for the Spurs?
Yeah, what was his position?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
All right, we're going to a break. We're going to come to win over Manchester City. Thierry and Michael are going to break down that all-important goal for PSG, the third goal that turned the game.
Very important. We spotted something from the first half, and it's disappointing to be 2-0 up. They come back to 2. You know what? Okay, it's embarrassing already, but let's bring a point back. and then you get done on something that they showed you in the first half. That's the first half. That's Neves, that's Pacho, trying to block, obviously, Nunez here. He won't do it ever so well, but they show you their hand on the first one. They're going to do the same thing. This time, he will surprise them on the first one from afar. You're going to see he's going to run and go there. This time, he's actually there already. He's going to put his hand up and wait for the cross. Block is going to happen. You get done twice in the same game, on the same system, on the same tactic. And for me, that was too much. We're going to see it here. Roll it. João Neves, connection. Block, he's trying to block Nunez, won't happen. Same here, they're blocking properly this time. Ball's gonna come, you didn't get punished, you're getting punished. That's not good enough. In the same game, first half, second half, same thing. He's calling for the ball. You should have remembered that. Someone here has to remember what happened in the first half. Micah, what would you have done?
I would have talked to my teammates. I would have opened up, look at the back post, see what. First, like you said, it's a great
exact
ball,
thing.
I mean, it's a crucial.
That's the free
part
to
of
go.
The game. It's not good enough. No organisation, and this is what City have
Too
been doing
important.
recently.
John Stone can clear it, okay, but how? Obviously, you're going to do it with the smallest guy because you want to surprise people. You're not going to put a guy that everyone expects there. They did their work, but you got done twice on the same move, same game, a game of that magnitude. That's not good enough.
Well, we've been speaking to João Neves. He's with Anita. Let's have a little listen.
Okay.
Where did the belief come from? Because going into this game, Manchester City, of course, above you in the table, looked like the favourites. But like I said, you were 2-0 down and managed to turn it around. And then, of course, you got that key third goal.
I think in these kind of games, all the players have high quality. And I think the details came from the way you go to the duel, the ball. And I think who wants more takes the lead. And I think we show outside we were a better team.
You felt like you wanted more. PSG wanted it more.
I think so. Yeah.
And just finally, congratulations on your Man of the Match award. What does that mean to you?
It's my first time. It's my first goal in the Champions League.
Yeah.
I'm very happy. But like I said, for me, it's not the most important thing. The individual trophies. It's the win.
One more game to go. Good luck.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yes.
He's English.
Very
Seriously.
good, huh?
Wow.
Top.
Like his performance.
Right, we're gonna you just keep echoing me for.
I'm liking this new presenting role, you know? I feel like I've got more responsibility. I'm feeling it.
What did you just present?
Yeah.
Well, through to the interview.
Let's move on to Real Madrid. Hey, welcome back again, everybody. So, big result in Paris tonight for PSG. 4-2 win over Manchester City. And Peter Schmeichel has been speaking to the PSG manager, Luis Enrique. Let's listen in.
You must be really, really proud of your team. You've changed your approach this year by not bringing in the big stars and spending a lot of money, but literally bringing in younger players. Is this the best you've seen them play?
Well, that's difficult here because the culture of the club, it was different in the past, but with the president and the sport director sport, we try to change that. It's not easy to sign stars. We try to build with young players and be a real team with our supporters. It was amazing how they support us, and even when we are losing 0-2, everybody is cheering us, and I think we are in the right path. We need to improve. We need to build up. Yeah, keep doing it. But today it's going different, and I think very positive for us.
And let's go over to them. Let's go over to our good friends Peter and Anita in Paris in the dry. The hair has survived. Anita, you're looking good.
Kate, you're really concerned about my hair. I love it. Just why don't you send me your hairstylist next time? You care that much about my hair? Send her with me on the road. We don't know where we're going next. No. Yeah, do we?
We don't know yet.
She said you can have hair extensions.
I've got hopes.
Look at you, Jamie. Stay there. You suit some extensions, I think. But anyway, talking about that game, okay, because we were treated to a 6-goal thriller. What a privilege.
We talked about the game in Lisbon yesterday. We talked about it before the game, same weather, the rain, and could we get something similar to that, and we did. It was really, I mean, I think Jamie earlier on said it was a game of two halves, and I kind of agree. I think Man City were very controlled, defended really well in the first half, and PSG was trying, but didn't really have anything to lock them up. And then in the second half, the substitution, Jack really scored after 5 minutes, and then those 10 minutes were just crazy.
Yeah, they were
Within 10 minutes, it was 2-2. It was brilliant to watch. From a neutral point of view, fantastic to watch.
In terms of what Luis Enrique said, he spoke about the change of the model. We have to talk about Pep Guardiola because he wasn't anywhere to be seen. He didn't come out for post-match interviews. Understandably so, given the way his team almost buckled this evening. But it's not the first time we've seen them do it. It happened just a week ago in the league against Brentford.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can't blame Pep. Pep normally comes out and he's brave enough to talk to everyone, even in, and he's done that for like the last 2 months when it hasn't been so great.
Yeah.
I mean, today that must have been a really big blow for him because he made the changes at half-time and it really had an effect. Jack Grealish came on and changed it. It was Rico Lewis came on and changed it. It was really a different Man City team, but it didn't last for that long. And for him, that must be very, very disappointing, really. And so what is he supposed to come out and say that he hasn't said in the last couple of months? What can he say now, you know?
Must-win game next week. But as exciting as the game was here, your head was somewhere else, understandably so. Talk to me about your son. You're a proud dad this evening, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah, I kept an eye on Celtic, played young boys today. It was that was a very, very tough watch because not only did Celtic miss a lot of chances, also missed a penalty, and it took them 86 minutes to score an own goal. It was an own goal to win the game 1-0 and actually secure a place in the playoffs. And for Celtic to do that, that is massive. It was what they set out to do. There is a slim chance they can even go into the top 8 if they beat Aston Villa away next week. There is a chance. Obviously, results got to go their way, but they are now secure. They can go to that game and play free. Today, they were nervous and conceded a couple of chances. And
did you not want to see those goals?
She massively boosting their hopes of staying in the Champions League for the knockout stages. City 1 point out of those knockout places. They just, though, need a win against Bruges on match day 8, Rio. But the way their season's going, can we be certain that's going to happen even against a Bruges side you'd expect them to be on paper?
Yeah, well, they've been unbeaten in a few games and we're looking at them and saying, you know what, they look like they've had a good rebuild and the confidence is rebuilding again, but we all know in football that it can quickly come down and crumble quickly in one performance, in 190 minutes. And today, there's a lot of things that went wrong for City today. And the confidence has been built over the last couple of weeks. I think is going to take a bit of a dent. Yeah. And this PSG team, I think the energy they showed, the youthfulness with their team, and the ability to come and revive himself after going 2-0 down, I think that'll be a worrying thing for Pep and his team to have experienced tonight.
There was lots of great performances on that PSG side tonight, Jolie. And how do you sum up their whole night, especially in the second half?
Exciting. Again, they were unfortunate not to go in a goal ahead in the first half, but the second half performance to show the character, the mentality, and Ali and Fletcher touched on it throughout the night. It's a different look, it's a different feel. They're working together, the understanding, the work ethic off the ball especially shows that they're determined to win it back as fast as they possibly can, and they got the rewards through that tonight.
Well, we had 4 goals in 10 minutes at the start of that second half. The first one from Jack Grealish. At this point, we're thinking, what a sub, Rio. It was his first touch, and he put City in front.
Yeah, and it was against play because I thought that PSG were a better team in the first half and created more chances. But it's a wonderful finish in here. But the first 3 goals that came about from players driving with the ball and running and being brave on the ball and then creating an opening. And then we talked about the press and being pressed 1v1 across the pitch. I think situations like that have to arise where there's a bit of individual brilliance that unlocks it. And it's a wonderful finish from Jack.
Yeah, he well-needed goal for Jack personally, but again, showed great character to get in the box, recognise what the situation brings. But this is a telling moment for me. Someone that loves to play football and to not have scored for such a long time and then not to smile when he scored is a telling factor for me.
Yeah, you didn't score for them in 2024. 2 goals in 2025, and then his second touch was to set up Haaland to make it 2.
Again, frustrating night for Ederson in possession, sloppy distribution in the second half especially, but fortunate enough to pick up the second ball. Nunes travelling, like Rio said, breaking the press, breaking the lines, and then a great weighted pass from Nunes and a great weighted pass from Jack. Fortunate and probably the only thing that Neves got wrong all night, but Haaland does what he does best and be in the right position.
Yeah, it was great. And I think, as I said, when Jack came on, you think at 2-0, right, this is going to... Great building for blocks for confidence here. But then the game just turned on his head. I mean, like you say, Neves with putting his leg out, trying as much as he could, but he lands at that man's feet. And we said before, it doesn't matter what you say about Haaland, what you want, or you're expecting more or anything. I don't. I just feel this guy's a great goal scorer, and that there epitomised that.
Absolutely, but then they were under pressure. Manchester City lost control. Rio, Ousmane Dembele getting one back, but what about that run from Barcola?
He was a thorn in the Manchester City side all game. First half, he had a couple of opportunities running with the ball, and I said it before in commentary. He's somebody. That little move there absolutely loses the defender there. And again, running at full speed, he has the ability to pick someone out in the penalty box. And Ali McCoy's mentioned it. He stands his ground on the penalty spot. He doesn't run in. The defender's all running naturally to the goal. The striker stands on the penalty spot. Then Dembele there puts the brakes on. It's a wonderful finish. But that bit of skill there teases defender in, and then there's no looking back.
It was an exciting night for him. Barcola with the threat, as Rio said, and maybe personally you're looking at Rico and say, does he need to drop as deep as Guardiola? You recognise that he's deeper than him, so can he stay attached to Dembele? But it's a well-worked goal.
And yeah, Dembele, a brilliant substitution for PSG. Such an impact in that second half. We're going to hear from Pep Guardiola as well. When we come back here at PSG, we're going to get some reaction from them as well. But his side, Rio, have dropped 8 points in the Champions League from winning positions, 14 this season in the Premier League. But why can't they hold on to a lead?
I don't think you can put it down to one thing. I think confidence is definitely something that's been sapped out of this team. But what I would say, when you start it becoming a trend and something starts rearing its head on a continuous basis, confidence, you can go a goal up, you can go 2 goals up, but in the back of your mind you're thinking, what if? Don't let it happen again. And that's when all of a sudden, even people on the ball who you expect to be confident and comfortable start taking too many touches, maybe inviting pressure, and then that's what we saw today. Invited pressure, and they were punished each and every time.
And then it was 2-2, and it was Doué hitting the post, but Barcola getting his first Champions League goal of this season, and it was a goal, Jolien, that his performance deserved tonight.
Oh, definitely. Again, a high press from PSG, well worked back, well won back, and again, slightly fortunate with the finish, but again, right place, right time, execution, and I think this was probably, for theme for Kovacic throughout the night, running with the ball, getting caught. The decision to actually run with it is more daunting than actually losing it. Players lose possession all the time, but the decision to do that, knowing you've given it away a few times throughout the night, but then again, come off the crossbar, defenders can't read them situations.
Barcola, I think he's been top goal scorer in the league this season for PSG. I think sometimes you need a performance at the Champions League level to really cement your place and for you to build that confidence even further to go, do you know what? I am the man. There's been Galacticos here every year. He came into that, and now he's one of the young guns that are here to try and take on that mantle. And you need a game like that. I think today could be one of those games for his confidence that he just goes beyond and beyond again.
When you watched him tonight, are you thinking that he's the present and the future of this side?
100%. I just feel that every time they wanted to kind of hurt and penetrate this team, at all times they were looking to get the ball out to him. And then when he got it, he was positive, he was direct, and he had the quality to pick out people and the other side of it, score a goal as well.
And then it was João Neves who put PSG in front, but he'd had a really good night altogether, Jolien, had a brilliant opportunity from a header in that first half as well.
Yeah, again, showed great character. The fact that he missed the first one, stuck around the back, they must have isolated. This is by design. They've recognised that Neves may be the weak link, or the back area of the goal, maybe the weakest part for City to defend, and they've done it again, and no one's really recognised it. And I think a couple of defenders thought about heading it, risked that it could go in an own goal, and then he's got that's not an easy header, by the way. He's wider than, nearly as wide as the 6-yard line, and to squeeze it in there, great header.
I enjoyed him tonight. I enjoyed watching Neves tonight. As I said in commentary, all different facets of his game, I thought he was exceptional. And it's the first time I've seen him live. I've heard so much about him. I spoke to his agent in the summer about him, and he was boosting him up, and you think, oh, he's an agent doing that. But when you see him live today, the amount of ground he covers, the quality he has on the ball, but most importantly, the character to continually get on the ball
at his age
in different areas of the pitch, being a new member of this team at his age, at this level, very impressive.
He's got more assists this season in Ligue 1 than any other player after just arriving in the summer. You can see why the fans love him already.
Oh, definitely. His work ethic off the ball, that will always endear you to any fan group, but no more than these set of fans. And like Rio said, he's a born leader. He was captain Benfica before joining here, so he's an exceptional talent and a mentality to match that.
And then Gonzalo Ramos put the icing on the cake at the end, 4-2. We were standing watching over in the corner there. There was a long VAR check for this one, Rio, but given in the end as it came off Guardiola.
Yeah, and Edison again with a sloppy kick, and they get punished on the other side of that. But he's a number 9. We mentioned before the game, we mentioned during the game, maybe that was one of the things they were lacking. Here you see it looks like he could be off, but the ball comes through to him, and in his mind there's no doubts where that ball's going to end up, and it's in the back of the net. But because it comes off the Man City player, obviously he's not going to be in an offside position. But it's a wonderful finish, and that's what you get when you have a number 9 who can come off the bench and affect games. Finished it off completely.
And you said in commentary that you can really identify with this PSG team. Why is that?
Yeah, I think I was talking about the Parisians. I think the fans here, I think they've had Galacticos here, superstars here, and they've enjoyed that, but they haven't. I don't think there's been a connection with the fans, so to speak, with players that they can see and identify with and go, you know what, they're giving everything, they're working hard. That's a working man's type of player and team. This team like that. First and foremost, this team work and they run and they have energy. And then you get the rewards of the quality that you have within that as well. And that's something that I felt in this stadium today, that there was a real connection between them players on that pitch and the fans. And that bodes well for the future of this team.
Was that about the collective tonight?
Oh, 100%. We've come here and watched this team or this club perform numerous times and look like they're playing with 7-8 men without the ball. So tonight there was 11 strong men, and like Rio said, the connection to the fans, that will give them grace when things aren't going so well, when results aren't as positive as tonight. Like you could sense that even though they were 2-0 behind, the fans were still behind them because they've seen that they were determined to get back into it, and the work ethic was still there.
And it's not all over for them as well. They've got Stuttgart on match day 8, all the games as well, kicking off simultaneously, which is going to be absolutely fascinating next week. As you said, a tough game for them, Rio. But if they get through after the confidence from tonight, would they be one of your favourites in this competition?
I still wouldn't have them as favourites. I think it's probably a bit early for this team because I still think there's some naive elements to them as well. But they'll definitely create an exciting tie, I'm sure. But I think if teams watch this game, a lot of them will say rather kind of sidestep PSG in the knockout stages if they all get there.
Okay, what a second half we've seen here. What a game. And coming back from 2 goals down to boost their hopes of Champions League survival, beating Man City 4-2. And this is what else has unfolded on match day 7 of the Champions League tonight. Arsenal have beaten Dinamo Zagreb 3-0. Declan Rice opening the scoring in that one. Kai Havertz and Ødegaard on the score sheet. A huge win for Celtic against Young Boys. They went down to 10 men, and it was an own goal that has ultimately secured a knockout playoff place for them, and a big win as well this evening for Real Madrid, who were in a bit of trouble in the table with a 5-1 victory for them against Salzburg. And this is what it all means for the table then. PSG have moved themselves, as it stands, into a knockout playoff place. Manchester City, though, just outside, and that means that they are going to have to beat Bruges on match day 8 to stay in the competition. Celtic, though, confirming a place in the playoff round, which is absolutely brilliant news for Celtic this evening. We're going to get the post-match thoughts of Pep Guardiola now. He's been speaking to Jules.
Pep, from 2-0 up to lose the game 4-2, how did it all get away from you so quickly?
Yeah, first half, they have a moment. They had the moments. They have 1 or 2. We have 1 or 2 in terms of chances, but they were better. So it was 0-2. We fine. We scored a goal in 5 minutes. They scored a goal in 5 minutes. So we could not control the first goal. They give us in that moment. They were a little bit knocked out, and in that moment they lived. But they were better. They were quicker, faster. They win the duels with the ball. They have one moment in the middle, and we could not cope with that. They are fast. Accept the defeat because the best team won. And we have, last chance at home against Bruges. If winning, hopefully we can qualify.
Was there a moment in the game where you felt like the momentum shifted in their favour?
No. The game never was like we wanted, but I give so credit to PSG. PSG is a fantastic, extraordinary team. And that's why you have to understand it. So, but it's 0-2, we could manage and score the first goal right after 5 minutes, we can stay and we can keep the ball and keep it a little bit. We can be better, but we couldn't do it.
Is there a particular reason you think that you haven't been able to kill games off when you've been ahead recently?
Because to play, you have to play. We could not. So to defend the result, you had to take the ball, and we didn't have it. And they have it more. They attack better, and that's why it's more difficult.
All or nothing, as you say, for this game against Bruges now. Would it be unthinkable for City to go out of the competition at this stage?
Could happen. If we don't win, we don't deserve it. So the game was a difficult task because Sporting Lisbon, at a certain moment when it happened, PSG staff to Juventus staff, all the games away that we have always is difficult, but it's a reality. We didn't do enough points and we had to accept it, and the last game against Bruges will dictate what we have to do.
Thanks, Pep.
You're very welcome.
It's another final coming up against Bruges next week. Pep Guardiola saying that PSG was simply better tonight. Would it be embarrassing if they went out before the knockouts?
100%. I think Manchester City, with all the success they've had in recent years, have put them into a position where people expect them to get minimum into the knockout stages. So I think they would take it as an embarrassment. I'm 100% sure. Because they see themselves as a team that should get into the latter stages, and they've demanded that of their team for the last few years. But yeah, I mean, the manager looks deflated there, and rightly so, because any time you go 2 goals up, don't matter what competition you're in, you expect to see that out. And I think today highlighted again, you don't want to harp on too much about it, that the inability to play Rodri in this team when you need to control moments in games, important moments, and have that type of authority in a game. They're missing that massively in this City team.
And led to them conceding 13 in their last 4 Champions League games. Is it as simple as saying they're missing Rodri? How much more to it is there?
There's definitely more to it, but he's a massive factor in that equation. The fact that he can dictate the tempo, dictate where the attacks or the opposition go.
He knows what a game needs at every given moment, doesn't he, Jordan?
That's the thing. He understands. Game management is so important and so underestimated in any factor, especially when you're winning. Like Pep said, they want the ball. That's how they control the game. They control it with the ball. Most teams are able to control it out of possession and slow teams down and sit in a low block. Man City don't do that. They dominate possession. And how many times have we recognised, especially Rodri, pick up the ball in the opposition final third and sustain the attack, sustain possession? So they do miss that. But that isn't the only reason that they're giving away 2-goal leads, 3-goal leads, whatever it may be. And just the confidence is a massive factor as well.
Well, it all started so well for Jack Grealish, didn't it, when he came off the bench, scoring with his first touch. We can hear from him now with Jules.
Jack, that's got to be gutting. What happened?
I don't know. Usually, in these moments we're so good. Obviously, it's happened too many times this season, when we've gone 1 goal, 2 goals up, even 3, against Feyenoord, and we've not been able to control the game and see it out. Like I said, it's weird because in every other season, we've been so good in these moments, managing the game. I don't know if it's, a confidence thing, because we know that for most of this season, especially before Christmas time, we weren't really at the levels that we know we can. But listen, I think it's down to ourselves to try and change that moving forward, and especially to try and go and win the game next week.
How hard is it to do that, though, when you can't put your finger on what the reason is for not being able to kill games off?
Yeah, no, it's difficult. Like I said, I don't know if it's a confidence thing. We have so many players on the pitch when we go 2-0 up that are so good, with the ball, at keeping it. But like I said, we've not been doing that recently, and that's down to us ourselves. Credit to Paris, they were so good, very energetic, and a lot better, than I thought. Not that I don't mean that in a bad way, by the way, but they were top, tonight, a really good team. So I think they deserve to win.
You came on, scored with your first touch. At what point did you feel that the momentum in the match really shifted and just got away from you?
Even when I come on, though, I didn't touch the ball for... Well, yeah, you just said that was my first touch. I didn't touch it for a while, and I was thinking, not any chance, you know what I mean? I wanted to obviously get a few touches to get into the game, and I scored, and then the next action I think we scored again. And in this moment I'm thinking, you know, it's all going to plan. I thought it was perfect because, like I said, you know, even myself, I'm good at these moments, you know, in keeping the ball and stuff like that. And we didn't do it. We didn't do it. It's simple as that, you know. I think when I was on the pitch, I felt like at times, you know, when they had the ball, they had people showing all the time, people wanting the ball and keeping it. So, yeah, I'll have to watch the game back, you know, to see everything.
Knowing you have to win the game against Bruges now to at least stay in this competition, can that pressure potentially get the best out of you that you need to see in that match?
I hope so. Yeah, we've had games like this, you know, especially in recent seasons, you know, big pressure games where we've come up. So we're gonna need that. You know, we know that Bruges are a good team. They've had good results, you know, in the Champions League this year. You know, they drew last night with Juventus and stuff like this. So listen, it's down to us. You know, we're really good at home. So hopefully, yeah, we can obviously prepare for the game at the weekend against Chelsea, and then all eyes will be on that game. So fingers crossed.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
No worries.
Game next week, Chelsea first, though they've also got Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool coming up, Rio. It's the run of games where we're going to find out what, if anything, can be salvaged from this season.
Yeah, huge games, huge importance on those games. And again, we always talk about the key word momentum. They need to start building that now. We thought they had it, we thought they were in the groove, but the rug's been pulled from under their feet tonight, and they've got to kind of dust themselves and go again now.
Will they get the job done next week, Jolyon?
I'm confident they do. Like Jack said, there's a massive game on the weekend, and it's an old cliche, but they have to take one game at a time now. They don't have the added advantage of looking at the all games you've just mentioned. They have to focus on Chelsea, hopefully come at that not too dented with a bit more confidence, and then go into the Club Brugge game with more confidence.
Yeah, they need some confidence from the weekend to take into a massive match next week. Rio, thank you very much. Jolyon, thank you as always. City took a 2-0 lead here in Paris, but PSG with an amazing comeback that was just a wee bit brilliant.